Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm your host, Winnie.
And I'm your other host, Mike.
And today we are continuing our story about Damon and Pythias. This is day 2. We are going to wrap things up. And I am excited because I have been on the edge of my seat.
Oh, you've been so excited you don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's
and
true.
Well, because we were left off with a cliffhanger. Our friend Pythias, he asked something that's kind of unusual.
Yes, definitely. He was caught for demanding that the king be replaced. He wanted to overthrow the cruel King Dionysius. He got thrown in jail because you can't just go around saying, hey, king, you're stupid, I hate you, go away.
Right.
You can't do that.
Well, he also had plans to...
Then he was going to murder the king, and that definitely is not okay.
Yeah.
So he was locked up, and the king was very upset and angry with him, so the king decided to execute him, cut his head off. And that's what was about to happen until the king said, do you have any last words? Is there anything you want to say to the people, to your family, to your friends before we kill you on the day of your death?
And he was like, do you mind if I take a few days off?
Yeah.
I gotta go back to the hometown.
Yeah.
Get my affairs in order.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure someone's watering my plants.
Yeah, but he's not going to run away.
No, he promises.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, we know that Dionysius is a very understanding ruler.
As a cruel and nasty evil king, no, he's not.
No, he's not at all. In fact, we don't really know what he's going to say either, so...
Well, I can kind of guess, but we're going to have to find out by reading the next part of the article. So what do you say we get into it and we see how Dionysius reacts to Pythias's very strange request.
The king roared with laughter.
You must think I'm stupid. How do I know you'll return?
Suddenly, a third voice shouted out.
Let him go. I'll stay in his cell until he returns.
It was Damon, Pythias's friend.
And if he doesn't?
Dionysius asked. Damon replied that the king could execute him instead. Damon's foolish trust amused the king so much that he agreed to Pythias's request. As the sun set on the 5th day, the king laughed at Damon for trusting Pythias. But Damon stayed calm.
All right, let's get today started, Mike. I'm excited. I've got my imaginary popcorn. I want to know what the king says.
Yes, Pythias says, I will leave, go home, say goodbye to my friends and family, but I'll promise I come back in 5 days and then you can cut my head off. Of course, this seems like a perfect chance for Pythias to run away and never come back,
They
right?
didn't have trackers, GPS.
They don't just let you out of jail and say, you promise to come back? Okay. No, that doesn't happen because, even the dumbest bad guy will say like, hey, I'm free. I'm just going to go and never come back. So I think the king's reaction is pretty natural as we read. The king roared with laughter, and not in a nice way. You must think I'm stupid, said the king. How do I know you'll return? And of course, he found this incredibly funny that this prisoner who is about to be killed is asking for just a little holiday before they cut his head off. And that's why he roared with laughter. When we hear the word roar, when we think of something roaring, lion, I think, is the animal that often comes to mind, but we can also use it for any kind of low rumbling kind of sound like that, okay? So an engine can roar. If you press the gas on a race car, you'll get the roar of the engine. We often talk about the roar of a jet plane as it takes off or flies overhead. It's very loud. It kind of shakes your body, shakes your chest. But we can also use it when someone makes a lot of noise, often in an emotional way. You can roar with anger if you're, what happened here? If your mom or dad comes in and discovers you've spilled milk all over the living room sofa, they might roar with anger. Or of course, like the king, you can roar with laughter because something is so incredibly funny, you're laughing really, really loud and really, really hard. And that's what he was doing because Pythias's request is just crazy. Anyways, for roar, we have this example sentence. We all felt scared when we heard the lion roar nearby. nearby. That's a good. Actually, no. I think lions only roar in the evening after they've eaten.
Oh.
I think that might be true, but don't quote me on that.
Right. Well, Dionysius roars anytime he hears something really silly, which you'd be pretty stupid not to run away.
Right.
And
the king would be pretty stupid to give you the chance to run away.
Well, then, continuing on with the article, suddenly, a third voice shouted out, "Let him go! I'll stay in his cell until he returns."
Wow.
It was, in fact, Damon. It was Damon, Pythias's friend.
So Damon puts up his hand and he says, "You can let Pythias go. I will stay here." This is kind of like a hostage.
Right, yeah.
Someone I will hold on to make sure you do what I say, because if not, I'll hurt your friend.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he's saying. You know, if he doesn't come back, you can kill me, says Damon. I hope he believes, I hope they're good friends.
That's true love.
Back to the article. So, of course, the king finds this very strange, that one person who did nothing is willing to be killed for his friend who did a crime, just so the friend can go home for a few days. So the king asks a logical question, and if he doesn't?
Fair question.
Meaning Pythias, if Pythias doesn't return, and he's kind of, you know, this is more like, and if he doesn't ... I'm gonna kill you. This is kind of what the
You
king
understand this, right?
wants to have very clear with Damon here while he volunteers to help his friend. And if he doesn't, Dionysius asked, Damon replied that the king could execute him instead. So Damon knows perfectly well the danger he is putting himself into to help his friend.
I love my friends.
I do too.
Would I do this?
Absolutely not.
No.
Well, would you ask a friend to be, would you be Pythias and ask your friend to be Damon?
No!
I might.
I love them enough to not ask
Would
them
I
to do
be
that.
Damon and trust my friend Pythias? Heck no. But maybe that means you're just a nicer person than me.
Sure.
But none of us are as nice as Hanny. So let's go over to, she would do it for both of us.
She would, yeah.
She doesn't even know who I am.
Yeah.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的故事读到 ，Pythias 在被行刑之前，请求能有5天的时间回家，向家人告别，处理自己的后事。那这时候国王就哈哈大笑说 ，Pythias 一定是觉得他很笨吧？国王他打从心底不相信他5天后会回来。那突然间有第3个声音大喊着：“让他走！我会待在他的牢房里面，直到他回来。”而这个声音呢，正是 Pythias 的朋友 Damon。国王就问 Damon， 如果 Pythias 不回来呢？那 Damon 回答国王说，可以将他处决作为代替。好，来看单字 roar。roar 这个动词表达咆哮、吼叫或是大声叫喊，发出巨响。文中是用 roar with laughter 来表达放声大笑的意思。那我们接回课文中。
All right, thank you, Hanny.
Yes, wonderful lady.
Yes, we loved Hanny.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing on with the article. Damon's foolish trust amused the king so much that he agreed to Pythias's request.
Young fool.
Yeah, come on. Damon, what are you doing?
Yes.
It's not like you're marrying Pythias, you know what I mean?
Even the bestest of best friends, this is a big favor.
Right, because this isn't just this isn't a little
Hey,
tiny
can I
request.
borrow 1,000 NT? Yeah, sure. Do you mind being killed instead of me?
Right. So when we're talking about the word request, it could be used as a verb, but in this case it's a noun, and it means to ask for something. So to make a request means, hey, can I borrow that pencil? Can you come to my wedding? I'm requesting something. So in this case, the request is, Pythias wants to go back home. That's his request to the king. So, for example, you could say Allie made a request to have more time to finish her project. But unlike Allie, this isn't just a tiny project for an A+.
No.
No, this is, hey, can you trust that my friend is going to take my place so that I can go home and then promise to come back so that I could die?
It is a very, very big request, absolutely. And of course, we can use request as a verb. You can request something or ask for something. So yes, here, Pythias is requesting that his friend stay there in danger so that Pythias can go home. Well, that seems that the king agreed to this cuckoo plan. He agreed to this crazy plan. He's like, really, Damon? All right, buddy.
All right.
If you want to let your buddy Pythias go home and you stay here in jail, that's fine. And if he doesn't come back in 5 days, I kill you, and you're okay with that? Yeah. All right.
To him, a head needs to be chopped.
Exactly. So someone's head is going to come off, and the king doesn't really care who. But anyways, that's okay. So off Pythias went to, visit his village and possibly, hopefully, come back in 5 days. Right. So that's where we join our story next. It says, as the sun set on the 5th day, the king laughed at Damon for trusting Pythias. I guess that means that Pythias has not come back. So
we don't hear a horse coming.
Is thinking that Damon, you're such a fool. Your friend lied to you. He used you. He's run away. He's never coming back. You're going to have your head cut off very soon. But Damon, for his part, the friend Damon stayed calm. He's like, laugh away, Dionysius. You can doubt my buddy, but I know Pythias, he's going to come back.
He's got your back.
He's my bro.
Well, you know who also has our back?
Who's that?
Hanny!
Oh,
Let's go to Hanny.
Damon 愿意傻傻的待在牢房里等 Pythias 回来，那这样愚蠢的信任让国王觉得非常好笑，于是他就答应了 Pythias 的请求。在第5天的日落时，国王就嘲笑 Damon 竟然会相信他的朋友，可是 Damon 还是保持冷静。单字 request 它是名词，表示要求、请求。那这边有一个重点是 so 加上形容词或副词加 that 子句，可以表达如此怎么样，以至于点点点，非常怎么样，结果点点点。那句型里面的 so 后面可以接形容词或副词来强调某事物的程度造成了某个结果。那这个结果就是用 that 子句表达。例如 The book was so interesting that I couldn't stop reading it. 那本书非常有趣，以至于我读到欲罢不能。好，那这句话课文中。
All right, thank you, Hanny. I am excited to see what happens in the second half.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous. I had faith. And then, it's the 5th day.
I just hope Damon doesn't have restaurant reservations for tomorrow. 'Cause that's going to be really embarrassing.
Really awkward.
Yeah.
He was sure something had delayed Pythias and said he was prepared to die for his friend. With that, he was led to the town square to be killed. Just as the axe was about to fall, Pythias's voice rang out from the distance. He had battled a shipwreck and pirates to make it back in time. Dionysius couldn't believe it. He had never seen such a friendship. He was so shocked, in fact, that he announced that neither man would be executed. This would allow their beautiful friendship to live on.
Welcome back from the break. Before the break, we were left on the edge of our seats as our main characters, Pythias. He went back home because, the king did say, I want to see how this pans out. I will let you return home to your village to, get everything sorted out before I come chop your head off. Because Damon, his BFF, his best friend, was like, you know what? I want to let you go and say your goodbyes. I'll sit right here, and I know you're going to be back.
That's right. I trust you.
Yeah, it's like, when you borrow a book from a library. It's like, I trust you. But then Pythias, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, if your friend doesn't come back, if you don't return that book to the library, or if your friend borrows your bicycle and then crashes it and doesn't pay you back, this is going to hurt. This is not going to be the way you want it to work out. And it seems like it's not really working out for Damon.
Yeah.
He trusted his friend, but here we are near the end of the 5th day when his friend should come back, and
the king's laughing his head off.
I can't see him out there. Pythias is not nearby. But Damon is still confident. It's
fine, yeah.
Although I think a little bit of doubt might be coming into his mind right now. As we get back to the article, it says, that's Damon, he was sure something had delayed Pythias. So he's thinking maybe he had an accident, maybe he couldn't find a horse, maybe he fell off the horse and broke his leg, or the horse, I don't know. But anyways, he's still thinking he's a good friend, but maybe he won't be back in time. But Damon is still...
Okay, sure, Damon.
Damon is still very loyal. So he was sure something had delayed Pythias and said he was prepared to die for his friend. So Damon now, I think, is maybe starting to think that this isn't going to work out for me.
No.
I'm going to have to die for Pythias, but I'm sure it's not because he lied to me and just ran away.
Okay.
Something bad happened to him.
He still has faith in his BFF.
He still has faith, but he's starting to think it might be bad news for him at the end of the day. And that seems to be the way it's going. So with those thoughts, after thinking that, he was led to the town square to be killed. So
I have a solution.
The castle, prison,
why doesn't he just do the same thing? He's like, give me 5 days.
Give me 5 days. My friend Pythias, when he comes back,
we can switch around.
He'll stay here for me. I think the king might see through this terrible, terrible plan. But anyway, so he was taken to the town square. Back in the old days, often when they killed somebody, they would do it in public. And everyone would watch and stuff because they didn't have Netflix or Squid Game or things like that. So yes, seems to be what was going to happen. And a delay, we had this verb delay. You can also talk about a delay as a noun or to delay. It's basically to put something off. Something you were supposed to do now, you can't do it, you don't want to do it, but you plan to do it just later in the future. I'm going to delay my lunch because I have to write an important email. I'm going to delay my holiday because a typhoon is coming. I will go to lunch. I will go on holiday just later than I planned. For example, I don't understand why the bus is delayed every morning. Why is it always slower and later than it should be?
Right, so Damon just thinks, it's not Pythias's choice to not come. He's just being delayed.
There's some problem.
Right, so of course, continuing on with the article, just as the axe was about to fall, Pythias's voice rang out from the distance. He had battled a shipwreck and pirates to make it back in time.
That's a pretty good excuse.
Damon knew his buddy.
Yes,
he was like, you guys can think he's a jerk, but he makes his promises. He keeps it.
Could be. He could have just taken a nap and he made that story up. Ooh. Yeah, maybe his alarm clock did. Oh my gosh, I gotta get back.
I need to go get executed.
David, what about, I'll tell him a pirate
that changes
and a
things.
shipwreck. Yeah, well, it wasn't me. I didn't oversleep or anything, no. All right, let's go to Henny.
到了第5天的日落，还是不见 Pythias 的踪影。那么 Winnie 老师这时候用到 on the edge of one's seat， 这是表达可能因为紧张啊、兴奋或是焦虑而坐立难安。好，那么老师还有用到 the clock is ticking。字面意思是时钟正在滴答作响着，也就是指时间不等人，时间很紧迫。好，故事里面 Damon 他很肯定一定是有什么耽误了他的朋友 Pythias。那他说呢，他自己已经准备好为朋友赴死。那说完他就被带到城内的广场准备被处决。就在这个斧头即将落下的时候， Pythias 嘹亮的声音从远处传来，原来啊，他经历了船难，还有海盗的袭击，然后现在才及时赶回来。好，我们看到单字 delay 当动词，它可以表达延迟、使延误、耽搁的意思。那么文中的 shipwreck 这个名词就表示船难、船舶失事的意思。好，这边还有一个重点是过去完成式 had 加上 PP， 它是用在表达在过去某个时间点或者是某个动作之前就已经完成的经验或动作，它可以单独使用，那也可以搭配过去简单式。先发生的动作是用过去完成式，那后发生的动作就用过去简单式。这边造2个例句。They had never traveled abroad until last summer. 他们直到去年夏天才第一次出国旅行。那这边就是单独使用。Anne had already heard the news before we told her. 在我们告诉 Anne 之前，她已经听到那个消息了。那因为 Anne 她是先得知消息，我们用过去完成式 had heard。我们告诉她这是后发生的动作，我们用过去简单式 told。好，那接回到课文中。
All right, thank you, Hanny. Yes, so finally we hear Pythias's beautiful voice rings out. Well, it's probably not that beautiful, but in Damon's ears,
Stop!
It's
Save
beautiful.
my friend!
Right,
I have
exactly.
returned!
Yeah, so of course the crowd is, kind of like, oh, what?
What a good guy!
Plot twist. Well, I guess to Damon, it's not a plot twist.
Some of them are probably saying, what a good guy. Some of the crowd are also saying,
What an idiot.
Tell me he came back.
Right.
Can you believe that?
Yes, exactly. So the article continues. Dionysius couldn't believe it.
Wow.
He had never seen such a friendship. I'm going to cry now.
He's a good dude, that Pythias.
Yeah. He was so shocked, in fact.
He killed them both.
No, that he announced that neither man would be executed.
Yay! Happy ending.
This is exactly what they wanted.
Exactly.
They were going to make Dionysius feel so touched.
That's a very good
Right.
idea.
So he announced that neither man would be executed, and to make an announcement, to announce something, means to tell something to a big audience. For example, you could say the winner of the game was announced on the radio. So you'll usually hear announcements, for example, you're waiting for the subway, and they will say, oh, the train is going to be delayed 5 minutes. So they are making an announcement, they are announcing that. In this case, the king is saying, you know what? I'm announcing to everyone. I feel like their friendship is so beautiful. I'm going to let them keep it.
And he probably made a big speech in front of the people showing how nice he is as the king. I will free them both.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And as the article says, and this could be part of the king's words too, this would allow having them both go free and live. This would allow their beautiful friendship to live on.
So this was a happy ending, unless the king still continues to be kind of a jerk.
Well, he could be. Maybe this is his one nice thing.
Right, he's like, my quota for the year.
He's going to go back to being mean and cruel and nasty. We'll just have to read some more Greek myths to find out what happens, hopefully. Anyways, let's go over to Hanny and find out what she has to say.
那看到这一幕，国王 Dionysius 他简直不敢相信，他从来没有见过这样的友谊。那他最后宣布，这2个人都不会被处决，而这也让他们美丽的友谊可以延续下去。好，单字 announce 是动词，它表示宣布、宣告。它的名词是在后面加上 ment 变成 announcement， 那它就有公告、声明的意思。接滑课文中。
All right, we are back with our What Do You Think question. What are we thinking about? What are we thinking today?
Well, we have a question. Do you think Pythias was right to place his trust in Damon?
Ooh, good question.
More like, was Damon right to put his trust in Pythias? Because he had to come back.
That's very true. Yeah, Pythias only had to trust Damon to stay locked in jail.
Yeah.
But I think for these guys, I can't really say. I don't know them and I don't know their friendship. But if they were truly the best of friends for their whole lives, then yeah, I would say he would have been right to do that. It would have been shocking if after having been friends for so long that one of them decided to, betray and hurt the other one. So if they're very good friends, I would say yeah.
I think the question more would be, was Pythias right to put his friend in that position?
Well, that's another question.
Right? Because a good friend would be like, I volunteer, but Pythias, come on, man. You love him, so you should be like, no, it's okay, goodbye, da-da-da-da-da.
But maybe Pythias knew that this was how it would work out in the end.
Maybe they planned it all
Maybe
along.
they did. Who knows?
Well, who's the fool? The real fool is Dionysius, because maybe he fell into their trap.
Yeah, it could be. Or maybe he's discovered that he's a nice guy after all.
Maybe this was the thing that changed
There
his
you go.
heart.
He's
There
going
you
to
go.
turn over a new leaf. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Keep reading those Greek myths if they're interesting to you, because they can give us a lot of cool life lessons that are true even today. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The king roared with laughter.
You must think I'm stupid. How do I know you'll return?
Suddenly, a third voice shouted out.
Let him go. I'll stay in his cell until he returns.
It was Damon, Pythias's friend.
And if he doesn't?
Dionysius asked. Damon replied that the king could execute him instead. Damon's foolish trust amused the king so much that he agreed to Pythias's request. As the sun set on the 5th day, the king laughed at Damon for trusting Pythias. But Damon stayed calm. He was sure something had delayed Pythias and said he was prepared to die for his friend. With that, he was led to the town square to be killed. Just as the axe was about to fall, Pythias's voice rang out from the distance. He had battled a shipwreck and pirates to make it back in time. Dionysius couldn't believe it. He had never seen such a friendship. He was so shocked, in fact, that he announced that neither man would be executed. This would allow their beautiful friendship to live on.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 roar 动词表示咆哮、吼叫或者是大声叫喊，发出巨响。request 当名词表示要求、请求。delay 动词可以表达延迟、使延迟或是使延误耽搁。 Announce 动词表示宣布、宣告。文法的部分，第一个学到 so 加上形容词或副词加 that 子句，可以表达如此怎么样，以至于点点点，非常怎么样，结果点点点。那么第二个呢，我们学到过去完成式 had 加上 pp 是用来表示在过去某个时间点或某个动作之前就已经完成了经验或动作，它可以单独使用，也可以搭配过去简单式。先发生的动作用过去完成式。后发生的动作用过去简单式。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Oh, this is nice. Oh.
Oh, that's cute.
Right? Can you help me wash it,
Yeah,
please?
put it in.
Thank you.
Do a load right now. All done. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Yay! What happened, Winnie? It shrank!
Today we are cleaning out the studio's closet.
That's right, because we have so many pieces of clothing.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of actors, a lot of hosts. Oh, that's cute.
This one?
No, this one.
This one?
Yes.
Oh. There are lots of stains on this shirt.
Yeah, we're gonna recycle that.
Oh, wait. With stains, we can just bleach it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, if we just bleach it, we can wear it again.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Oh, this is definitely going.
What? What's wrong with it? It's nice.
You don't see this
It's
pilling?
Yeah, it's pilling a lot.
The whole shirt is pilling.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, we did a pretty good job today cleaning out the closet for everyone at the studio. But you know what? Sometimes if you feel like you have some pieces of clothing at home where there are signs it's time to recycle them, don't be afraid to clean them out.
Well, that's all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram. Send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English and you just don't know how. Kiki, anything else?
Learn how to do laundry.
Kiwi later.